Guys, there was a new Shinx render. They gave us a new Shinx render. He looks so good. Look at my son. Look at him. Look at him. Okay, so what the hell is up, y'all? Soul here, and welcome back to my story mode. So, obviously, as you all know, and as I all know, clearly, we finally got a huge bundle of news regarding the remakes as well as Pokemon Legends. It's so weird to think that we went 6 whole months without even so much as a smidgen of a look at these games before today. However, I'm not too mad about it. Actually, I'm not mad about it at all, because clearly, I don't know if y'all took a look at that presents, but everybody's more or less pretty damn happy about the results. Obviously, there's still a bunch of disappointed fans because, like I say always, you can't please everybody, and that's okay sometimes. They just can't do it for every single one of us. But based on the responses that you guys put up on my reaction, I think it's safe to say that a majority of us here are very much looking forward to the remakes as well as Legends more than ever. And obviously, because of that, all we want to do is talk and have a good discussion and genuinely just gush about these damn games, because good Lord Almighty, I'm beyond hyped right now. I can't contain myself. So at this point in time, I actually haven't narrowed down exactly what I'm going to be titling this video, but the one that I've most likely landed on is just asking the question, has Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl improved enough to be worth the full price for everybody to start picking up this time around? For those that care, I'm gonna let y'all in on a little secret. This is just an excuse for me to gush about it. There were so many different new features and reveals that I just want to sit down and just talk about all of that for a minute, okay? I want to get all my thoughts out about the things that they showed us directly in front of us on that screen this morning, because my lord, they gave us a lot. For anybody that cares about it, don't worry, we'll definitely be getting back to our regularly scheduled deep dives and everything like that regarding what might be in the game, what might not be in the game, and stuff like that. But right now, I want to focus on what we know that we have, and whether that makes it worth it enough to pick this game up when it comes out mid-November. They really went above and beyond a lot of my expectations. And, you know, one could say that that's not really all that big of a deal, considering that my expectations were kind of on the floor when it came to these remakes. But I gotta say, Chief, I'm pretty damn happy with the turnout right now. There was nothing unhype about this direct except maybe Pokemon Cafe Mix Remix or whatever that was. I'm whatever about it. For anybody that's excited about Pokemon Masters, that's awesome. We even got 2 whole ass character reveals for Pokemon Unite, and that was dope. But I gotta say, as soon as we hit Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, we were running. There was not one moment where I wasn't hyped up, okay? I'm gonna say it just like that. And obviously, this applies to Pokemon Legends as well. I also want to make another video talking about that game. However, if you know me, I like to keep that kind of situation separate because these are 2 entirely different games. I want to be able to gush entirely about Pokemon Legends without having to get it mixed and matched with Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl right now. So the next video after this one, we're going to be going in depth talking about everything that they showed when it came to the trailers for Pokemon Legends. It's going to be fun. Okay, so I think you guys have sat there long enough waiting for me to stop rambling. Why don't we start getting into things and start talking about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl and just consider if it's improved enough for everybody's tastes. Why don't we find out and talk about things? The first thing is, I was 100% right in my freaking predictions when I said that when we get the next glimpse of this game, it's gonna look so much better than when we first saw it back 6 months ago. As soon as they started up that trailer, I noticed immediately how easy on the eyes everything was all of a sudden. The camera is in a much different position than it was before, the colors look so much smoother and they pop even better than they did before, and it just generally feels like a much more natural progression for a remake, and I'm here for it all the way. Back when I said that this was the perfect direction to take for the remakes, I never took that back, and I'm very happy that they completely went through with this, touched it up how we wanted, and now it's golden. Mwah, it looks beautiful, guys. Keep up the good work, Ilka. And speaking of things that look wildly better, why don't we talk about the chibi models too? I'll admit, they did look a little bit awkward at first because it was almost like they were going for a half and half toy-like style with another unique style that just wasn't really there at first. This time around though, it looks kinda crisp. In the trailer, you could see that certain events are happening and the camera will get a lot closer to the models, and then you could see that they have lots of expressions, they have necks, their hands don't look as awkwardly huge as they did before. And of course, while the proportions are still a little weird, that's actually supposed to be like that. They're chibis. That's kind of the style, kind of the whole point. So quite honestly, looking at them in the overworld is not going to be a problem for me personally. I don't know about y'all, but I love the way this style looks, and all they did was make it better. So I'm with it the entire ride, bro. The entire ride. And speaking of just generally looking better models, the in-battle models look so much better. Everything looks exactly how I wanted it to. No more of that awkward staggering when a Pokemon gets thrown out of a Pokeball. The battlefields look much roomier. It looks so vast, and they look prettier now too. Just the detail on the trees in the background alone can show you that they've made significant progress on that. And then the models of the Pokemon look great too. I love the style that they chose for them. And then focusing right back on the trainers, their models are exactly what I asked for. They don't have that weird plastic coloring anymore, and they look so much more expressive when they throw Pokeballs or when they give out commands. It looks wildly better. I mean, come on, did y'all see Barry? Look at Barry's hair for me really quick and tell me he doesn't look fire now. Go ahead and say it, you'd be lying to me. Whatever the case may be, the general flow of things just looks so much better, and this game is going to be absolutely easy on the eyes, especially by the time that we pick it up in November. If it looks great now, it's probably going to look even better then, but maybe not. I feel like they're just adding on the finishing touches, but as it is right now, I think we're golden. Okay, alright, sorry, you're right. We've talked more than enough about the general graphics. Why don't we move into the game itself and talk about the returning features and some of the upgrades that we've gotten. For example, they were very subtle about it, but I'm sure that some of y'all paid attention and heard some of the remixes that were playing when they were showcasing some of the new features of the game. Never will I ever doubt Pokemon's ability to hit us with that right kind of music. Those remixes are going to bang, I promise you. Just a little tidbit that I heard sounded fire. Will they be surpassing their originals? I don't know about that one, Chief. I'd have to listen to them for a couple hours on end before I make that decision. But what I did hear, I don't think I would mind listening to on repeat for hours at a time. I can tell you that right now. When they were starting off with the reveals of new features, they played a snippet of the new Lake Verity theme. Oh my goodness, I was starting to tear up. I was starting to feel that, bro. If that started to hit me like that, I can't imagine how the Eternal Forest theme is gonna hit me. That sucker's gonna mess me up pretty bad, I promise you. Y'all might see me cry on stream or something, I don't know. Because that music, if it's done right, shoot. Anyhow, long story short, these remixes are gonna pop off. They're gonna sound amazing, and if there's anything that we're gonna have wrong with these games, it's definitely not gonna be the music. That I can promise you. The next feature that I want to talk about that's actually insanely crucial to me is the fact that Pokemon can follow you outside of their Pokeballs again. Now, it hasn't truly been that long since we've had the feature, but it's definitely felt like the true variant of that feature hasn't been a thing since the original 2nd gen remakes. I'm sorry, but it is just very hard for me to count Let's Go. It's so hard. However, I will admit, that little feature that they added to following Pokemon where you would talk to them and they would actually be able to sniff out an item, that was pretty awesome. If these Pokemon can do that too, that would be dope. However, we have a whole ass item for that in 4th gen, so we don't really need them to do that. So even if they don't, I'm totally okay with it. It's just gonna be beautiful having Shinx right behind me the entire time. I'm so excited, guys. I'm so excited. Now here's the thing, a lot of you may feel that it's kind of ridiculous to be happy or upset about a feature as minor as this, but here's the thing, they totally did not have to give us this if they didn't want to. There is absolutely no reason Ilka would need to go out of their way to remodel and reshape all of these Pokemon so that they fit not only in battle mode, but in the overworld as well, because each Pokemon has a model in the overworld that you will be able to see as long as you have them in your party. This is just one of those times where it absolutely goes to show that they can see and hear us when we ask for things. In the grand scheme of things, it is a very minor feature in the grand scheme of Pokemon things that we've requested. However, it's a very welcome feature that we've all come to love so much that it's hard to see us going forward without it, you know? So, Shinx can follow us, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. Thank you, Ilka. Thank you. Which kind of leads me to believe that the Pal Park situation that we had in Heart Home City is not a thing anymore, because why have one dedicated area where your Pokemon could follow behind you when they could do that for the entirety of the game? So that probably means that whatever was there before is no longer in that area, or they might have replaced it with something different. I don't know. You know what they probably did? They most likely replaced it with something that we're going to talk about very soon, actually. Mark my words, we'll definitely be coming back to that very shortly. Why don't we go ahead and move on with the fact that they actually went ahead and brought back stickers. More specifically, the ability to decorate your Pokeball so that when you throw a Pokemon out, there's a special animation for it. That is a beautiful thing that, again, they did not need to bring back if they didn't want to. But something that we've been wanting back for so long is here again. And we're going to go absolutely bonkers with that BS. Do you understand me? Once upon a time, we sat there decorating every Pokeball for every member of our Pokemon team so that when they got thrown out, everybody had something nice and flashy. What with the little electricity sparks coming out, or maybe those little side beam knockoff situations that we had for our little psychic Pokemon, whatever we had, the confetti, it truly was the entire shebang, bro. This is not a feature that I ever expect to come back for another Pokemon game ever again. If they did decide to do that, it would be a beautiful thing. But I don't expect it. None of us do. We didn't even expect it to come back for the remakes. That's how beside ourselves we were at this point when it came to this mechanic. The child in me is screaming right now. However, I gotta scream back because we gotta move on, otherwise we will never move away from this topic. Now this one will definitely most likely get a video in of itself because it's such a huge feature that I'm guaranteed that we're going to be spending more time down there than we will above ground in the overworld focusing on the story. We need to talk about the underground upgrades for a minute. So obviously I made an entirely separate video talking about all the changes that would be possible for the underground to make it more bearable, but they did more than what I asked for. Too much, in fact. Let's start with the fact that generally speaking, the underground looks way smoother to traverse now. You've got the main screen on lock. I don't know what you're touching to make the sensor go off so you could find places to mine, but they do show up. They are around. And that map that we have in the top left corner makes it look real nice and organized for us. It shows us exactly which hallway we're going down, and it even goes out of its way to show us exactly where every Pokemon hideaway is hidden out. That is something that we have to come back to as well, because that in of itself is an entire conversation. And thank the stars, they made the mining look like butter again. They kept the exact same format, which is totally fine by me, because as it was totally fun. But it looks mad clean now, and while I will admit if you're not playing handheld, it'll probably go by a lot slower by pressing the button, I'ma say it like this, I'm still going to town, baby. I'm going on fossil hunts day one. Do not even try to stop me, bro. Don't try to stop me. I'm on the hunt for Craniodos, bro. Long story short, the underground got the well-needed polish it absolutely deserves, and the fact that we're gonna have access to power like that right from the get-go, like when you get to Eterna City, is kind of alarming. Straight up, we're gonna get there, handle our gym business, and go right underground, and we're not coming back up for a couple of days. I'm serious. It's that good looking now. I love the idea of your character just going underground, a couple of days pass, and then you just immediately pop up out of the ground, and the NPCs are like, oh my god! Where have you been? Where do you think, old man? I don't know why that's such a funny image to me. Exaggerations aside, the underground is easily one of the biggest glow-ups that I'm looking forward to tackling when I get my hands on this game. Trust me when I say as soon as I get my hands on that Explorer kit, I'm going down there and making sure my base looks fresh as all get out, bro. It is legitimately about to be a hell of a time. Moving along here, the other biggest piece that I'm really looking forward to when getting my hands on these games is partaking in the contests. The hook that minigame is gonna have on us is gonna be just as, if not more powerful than the underground. Okay, let me back up a minute. Maybe I'm just talking about myself here because your boy do be loving himself some rhythm games, especially a lot lately. I have a couple of games lately to blame for that one. However, I am not gonna complain when it comes to having a rhythm game for Pokemon. But even beside the point of it looking like a really fun minigame to partake in general, it just looks really cute to see your Pokemon moving around and enjoying themselves on stage doing their thing. It's just cute. It's just so nice to have back. We've been wanting contests to come back for a very long time, and we haven't seen them since what? Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire? Sorry to say this, Chief, but I'll be completely honest with you. The way they handled the mechanics of the contests in ORAS didn't really appeal to me all that much, which is why I didn't really partake in them. You use a move, maybe it's cute, maybe it's not, and you take some pictures. Okay, cool, whatever. Sorry, but I gotta be blunt with you right now, Chief. The version that we're about to get for the 4th gen remakes? Yeah, easily the most superior version of contests we've seen to date. It's the most interactive, and it's probably most likely also going to be the most rewarding. What exactly they're gonna reward us with? I couldn't really tell you. However, if you compare what we have with this one in comparison to the other games where we've had contests available as a mechanic, there's really no contest. that was no pun intended. No pun intended. Sorry about my stupidity for a moment there, but either way, what I'm trying to say is I'm going to be spending a lot more time in contests than I usually ever would, even in the original games. Because this right here is a prime example of how you make a very good and solid mini game to keep people interactive and enjoying themselves. Making contests the exact same as you would with Pokemon battles just doesn't really work all that well to me. Don't get me wrong though, I'm very glad that they were brought back in the original remakes of ORAS. However, going forward, if we are going to have contests, we're going to need it more along the lines of what we have right now in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, because that right there, after doing that, there's no way in hell we're ever going to be able to go back, okay? Just saying. Okay, moving on, we've talked about that enough. Why don't we start focusing on the couple of new features that they mentioned throughout this little showcase. Now I say showcase, but in reality what I'm about to mention wasn't even actually mentioned in the presents. The fact that you can actually change the skin color right from the get-go of your trainer, that's a thing. I don't know why they didn't mention that, but that's a very important thing. Some of you may remember that I briefly mentioned the fact that getting connected to the trainers in the past was kind of hard considering the fact that we could not decorate them in the way that we wanted, and so I had to play with this not dark colored character. I am black. I couldn't really connect with them like that, you know? Like I said, they advertise as if that character is supposed to be you. You're stepping in the shoes of this trainer and you are going on a Pokemon adventure. However, it's hard for me to believe that when I look at the screen and I see somebody that is the complete opposite skin color of me. But I could now not be more grateful for the fact that they completely brought over the feature of changing your character's skin color for a remake, mind you. This is a whole ass character, unlike what we had in, what was it, 6th gen, 7th gen, and 8th gen, okay? They did not need to bring this back, but you are not gonna sit here and see me complain about that. I am actually super happy and super grateful that they decided to do this. Being able to decorate a character and go on truly what I feel is going to be my own unique journey in Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl is going to be immaculate, and I cannot wait. I could not be more happy about that. That is awesome, and I really don't understand, again, sorry I'm repeating myself, why they did not showcase that. But I digress. We're getting it anyway, and I'm not complaining about it. And speaking of decorating characters, another one of the biggest new features is the fact that we also get to dress them up again. They added an entire store that's gonna pop up in certain areas in the game where you can buy new outfits and clothing for the character that will show up in battle as well as in the overworld in their chibi forms. That was so unnecessary, but so dope. So you remember what I said about Pal Park not being there anymore? I 100% believe that they're most likely going to replace wherever Pal Park was originally, you know, behind the city, with that shop so you could go in there and buy clothing. And I fully believe that throughout the region there's going to be multiple places like that with new articles of clothing every time you enter a new city. Obviously there's cities that used to have things like the game corner, which is literally where they showed us first going into that store to buy clothing. They made sure to show us that that spot is not going unused just because we can't have the game corner legally anymore. They directly showed us that spot having that store. The game corner is not a thing anymore. It can't be. I get it. It sucks, but I get it. But my god, I would be lying to you if I said I was mad about its replacement. The first couple of outfits that they showed off for the trainers are actually hella fresh. that cyber fit, bro, I'm gonna be on that daily. That looks so good. And also, I love the color green. So try ripping that off me. I will fight you. Long story short, a necessary and also at the same weird time unnecessary touch that I'm super grateful for. Because again, this is not something that they usually ever do for remakes. That is just, that puts me beside myself. It's insane really, but I'm very happy about it. Now the last thing that I wanted to talk about for a second is the other thing that I actually needed to come back to, which is focusing on the Pokemon hideaways. That one thing right there is specifically why we're going to be spending so much time in the underground now. In the original Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, we were not doing any kind of battling underground. That was completely unheard of. Now, they have entire sections dedicated to Pokemon that just roam around in the overworld that you could find down there, catch, and use in your main game. On one hand, that is dummy overpowered to be able to just go down there and get whatever type of Pokemon that you need at any given time. And on the other hand, it's absolutely brilliant in giving us access to Pokemon that we may not think to really utilize otherwise. Again, we'll probably bring this up in a future video. However, apparently there was a whole situation with the original Pokédex in the original games to where it was very hard to get your hands on certain typings, specifically fire typings. The only ones that you had access to truly were your starter Pokemon, which was Chimchar, and maybe Ponyta if you came across it. In a way that creates a very awkward imbalance considering that you most definitely need a fire type at least a couple of times throughout your journey. But this den situation right here almost damn near fixes that entire thing. You need a fire type? Go down there. You might be able to find a Houndoom. You might be able to find a Ponyta. Maybe we may be able to find something else. I have no idea what's going to be down there. However, I fully believe that there's going to be more than 2 Pokemon available down there. That would not make any sense. Maybe a Magmar. I don't know. Just saying, if you need a specific typing, you know exactly where you're going to look for it. Now, I don't want to ramble on about that all day because again, that whole situation in of itself deserves a video of its own. I really want to talk more in depth about that and how it's helpful, how it's not helpful, yada yada yada. Now, we're going to go ahead and move on to my final question, which is this game, is the 4th gen remakes Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl worth the full price now? Now, I'm fully expecting all of you guys to tell me what you guys think about that question right there. But me personally, if I had to give an answer, I'm gonna say yes. I personally think it's almost damn near worth every penny now. Now, quite obviously, there's still plenty of issues with the game itself that I'd like to discuss in depth in a different video because obviously no game is perfect and I just wanted to focus on the positives about this game and talk about if it's worth it or not now that all of these things have come to light for us. However, with all of the information that's come to light, I have come to realize that yes, I'm going to be spending an absurd amount of time with this game, and you can bet your ass cheeks that I'm going to be restarting that game over and over and over again for years to come. I promise you that, son. I promise you that. You can disagree with me all you want, but that's my personal verdict. Oh yeah, so that just about wraps up all of my thoughts when it comes to if this game is now worth it and how awesome everything looks now. You know, just my general thoughts on this recent presentation on this. I'm really looking forward to the remakes now. I'm looking forward to the remakes just as much as I am looking forward to Pokemon Legends. Both of these games have a whole different situation going on, and I'm just as hyped for one as I am the other. I'm super excited, and I'm very much looking forward to what these games have to offer for us in the very, very near future. So we're going to be talking a lot about everything that they had to show within the next couple of weeks regarding Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl as well as Pokemon Legends. So next up is Pokemon Legends. So if you want to stick around for that, I highly recommend you hit that sub button because we're going to be talking in depth about everything that they decided to show us in this showcase earlier yesterday or today or whatever. So I want to talk about it. But either way, I'm gonna pass the mic over to you guys. What do you guys think about Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl now that we have a bunch more information on it? Do you think that it looks really bad? Do you think that it even possibly looks worse than when we saw it a couple months back? Do you think that all of these mechanics are worthless and you can't just get past anything that they've shown and you just can't bring yourself to buy it? Or do you think that it looks absolutely fire, you're looking forward to it, and you're gonna pick that sucker up on day one? I want to hear what all of you guys have to say in the comment section below, because you know that I am always down there with you guys. And with that, I'm gonna leave you to it. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this. But with that, I'm outro. Thanks again, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.